Hey guys, welcome to another video here. Well, today I want to talk about the Slash monster truck. Probably one of my favorite go-to trucks, just for bashing, having fun with, jumping at the skate park. One thing Traxxas does very well is sell. They have very good part support. You can get parts for these things anywhere. You can buy them all over the place, not just at the hobby stores. And that's really one of the best advantages to having a Traxxas vehicle. How many times have I broken apart at 8 o'clock at night when I first started out with these things, and I'd be able to run to Best Buy or Future Shop and get replacement parts at 8:30 in the evening on a Saturday or Sunday when the hobby shop is closed. So I'm just going to kind of give you a little guide on how to build the ultimate Slash monster truck, in my opinion. How I built mine, the parts I recommend, and what makes a Slash monster truck a monster truck. You just seen it shut off there. That's a nice feature I like about this truck actually. It's got a inactivity timer. If you don't touch it or move the throttle for so long, it will actually turn the truck off. Handy feature. So, Slash monster truck. What is a monster truck? Well, in my opinion, it's got to be the HCG chassis. Now, I'm not even sure if you can still buy this as a ready to run. I know you can get the chassis for sure. I'll put the model number that I bought. I bought this as a used Slash 4x4. Got a pretty good deal on it. Got rid of the electronics straight away. Sold them up for 125 bucks, and I bought a new system for this truck initially. I have a different system in there now, but so HCG, for me, a monster truck's got to have the 2.8, the big tires. You got to get rid of the 2.2-inch tires. You got to have ground clearance. You got to make it a Stampede, except it's a longer chassis, so you actually are able to get better. It jumps a lot better. You get better characteristics in the air. It also turns differently, not quite as sharp as the Stampede, but it still turns very, very well. So first off, if you're ever going to make, or one of the first parts you need, one of the only parts you need really to make a monster truck Slash, is the Proline extended body mount set. You can see my caps here. I get a lot of people asking, where do you get the caps? Where do you get the caps? Well, they're part of the Proline extended body mount set for the Slash 4x4. I'll pop that part description or part number in the description, or even on your screen right now if I've gotten to the editing part of this. But yeah, so I'll take this thing off the stand and show you what it's all about. So before I take the lid off, I'll just go around and show you the LEDs. I built my own kit for this truck. Now these are all right off of the internet actually. I bought all these LEDs and constructed my own light kit. The one that's in the body of the truck actually I purchased from the hobby store, but it was a pre-made kit. None of the flashy stuff or the smart control. I don't want blinkers on when I turn. I don't want none of that. I want functional lights that tell me the back of the truck, front of the truck, and actually provide useful light. So it's bright in here right now, but you can still see that light on the wall. I've actually put Piranha wide angle super bright LEDs on the front, and I put a ton of them on here. The light bar itself has 4 in there. These are in the RPM light canister set for the Slash 4x4. These are actually chrome LED retainers, which I've also put different LEDs. These are actually 5mm, they call them straw hat, I'm not sure. They're just a regular round top LED. Same with all these on the front. So you got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 just on the front here, and then these 4 as well. So you got 14 lights on the front. I think 6 on the back. That's my choice. I like a lot of light. So I did this all off of the BEC. So let's take a look. So as you see, I just leave a little cable that actually attaches up to this body light set, and just to show you, I actually wired this in to a receiver controlled switch. So I have my 3rd channel here on my cheapest radio in the planet here, the GT2B Fly Sky. But as you can see, I can control my lights via the transmitter. So a handy little feature, I'll show you all about that as well. So I just connect it to a little Y harness I've made there. So this pulls out. Now regardless, I have another body that I run with this truck as well. So I can bolt this one up if I want. This one I don't have any lights in it, but the ones on the light bars are permanently wired in, so no matter which light kit I have or which body I'm running, I always have LEDs that I can control. Daytime they stay off, nighttime they go on. So what's under the hood? Let's have a look here. Well, I got the trenchers, 2.8-inch tires. These are running on J Concepts. These are called the Rulix 2.8-inch rims. I like how if I turn my transmitter off, it tells me by flashing my lights, or if I lose signals, the lights start to flash like a hazard. So these tires are nice. I mounted them up myself. Always prefer to do that as I can get a better glue job. And upgraded servo. This is a very nice servo. If you're looking at upgrading, it costs less than buying another Traxxas 2075 waterproof servo, and it's about 1,000,000 times better. Turnigy TS 900, available from Hobby King. Either you love them or hate them. And the servo kicks ass. So, ESC I purchased actually from A-Main Hobbies, the Viper Copperhead R. I also have a Viper motor for this actually right here. That's the 4500 kV, and actually I got the STRC. Break it in the process here. Aluminum LCG chassis for this as well, so I can convert my slash 4x4 into an LCG race truck. Awesome for race days. I put that together for my son, and he runs that truck at the races, and I run my Hyper 10. And then when we're off season and stuff, we feel like bash, and I convert it over. Pretty soon I think I'm going to have to just buy the spare parts for the second truck, but that's why I love this slash so much. It is so versatile. You can convert it now if I want to go to a rally, or oh man, there's just so much you can do with these trucks. So one of the more important things you need to do to make this thing bulletproof is get rid of the freaking stock electronics, the VXL. The new, I've actually heard they're coming out with a new 4-pole system. That actually might be okay. But the old 2-pole motor and that old VXL speed control, the original VXL 3S, it just has no right in a heavy 4-wheel drive truck like this. It's underpowered from the start. It runs super hot from the beginning. The first thing I would recommend if you buy a new truck is immediately just take that system. If it's brand new, it's even better because you'll get more money for it. Put it up on Craigslist or eBay or whatever. You can sell it for 150 bucks. So right off the bat, order a system like this Viper Copperhead R system I purchased. It cost me $120. With the motor and everything. Awesome little system. You can go with a hobby wing if you're looking for waterproof. The WPS C8, I've run that in my other trucks. Excellent speed controls. This motor is a really bargain motor. It's a Losi 2800 kV. It's an actual copy, or not copy, but very similar to the Castle 1415 2400 kV motor, which everybody talks about, raves about that motor. It's good to 4S. This is essentially the same motor with a different rotor inside it. So, the Castle 1415 has larger magnets and a stronger EMF, or electromagnetic force, field strength. I'm not sure which one is which, but anyway, I've actually compared the two, and this one, there's actually a video if you look comparing the two rotors, but this motor is awesome. I run it on 2S and I gear this thing to the moon. But it can wheelie no problem. Slash 4x4 these tires. I can wheelie this thing with normal 2.2-inch stock tires with this setup. So it goes pretty darn good. It's only geared about 40-45 miles an hour, but it's got a ton of get up and go, and it's a ton of usable power. A lot of fun, and it runs cool as a cucumber. You can run this thing pack after pack, and it just sits right at like 120 on both. So that's what I did. Techno center drive shaft, that's a must in my opinion, as well as the CVDs. Techno M6 CVDs on all 4 corners. It's one of the first upgrades I did, and it's one of the most beneficial. These things, the stock ones break so often, you'll be pulling your hair out. stretching them out and breaking stub axles and yokes. Oh man. So, RPM rear bumper. I actually put the I-bars from the X01 differentials into my differentials. The gear kit, I believe it's 6882X. Direct drop-in for the Slash 4x4, Stampede 4x4, any of that, the Revo diffs. Also, if you pick up just some X01 diffs off Dollar Hobbies, you can get them pretty cheap, 15 bucks or so. They're direct drop-in, even though they are a little different internally. One upgrade I don't have on this truck, which I need, and it's a very important one, is the motor mount. In this situation, it's a plastic motor mount. Not this part here, but the actual that it bolts to. There's a bearing for your slipper clutch that runs through the motor mount, and it's allowed to flex because it's plastic. It puts unneeded and excessive stress on that bearing and can cause premature failure. If you keep an eye on your bearings and maintain them, they last quite a bit, quite a while. But the solution is to get an aluminum motor mount setup like King's Head, or STRC makes them. I prefer the King Heads. I had it on my last truck and it was amazing. So I'll probably go with that. That's one of the last upgrades I really need to do, and this thing is completely bulletproof. The Servo is 20 kilograms or so, but it's quick. It's like 0.07 or 0.09, or I can't remember, something in there. But fast, way faster than the stock one, and its holding power is incredible. So I wired up all my little, you see these plugs here. This is what controls all my lights via the switching. So I just wired up a little Y harness that comes out, which is attached to the Turnigy receiver controlled switch. I'll open up the receiver box, but it's a mess in there. It's pretty crazy, but I've got this wired up so I can power a BEC, which I'm not right now, but if I feel like it, I wire these up where they draw power directly off the pack. This runs into here, which I power everything from, so I'm getting pack voltage for my servos and stuff. So I don't really need the BEC, but I used to, so I used to power it here. Lots of different stuff, RPM sensors. This is the Turnigy receiver controlled switch I spoke of. You plug this into an open channel. Sorry about that, the video cut out. Hit the button with my thumb. So anyway, this is the receiver controlled switch. You plug this into an open channel that you can control with your transmitter, and it will switch it off and on. Basically, it's an interface between the two, which is the reason why you can't just plug in LEDs to your channel 4 or 5 on your Summit controllers and flick the switch and make them come on. All it's doing is really sending a pulse back, so you need to modulate that. So these are fairly cheap. They're I don't know, about $7 from hobbyking.com, another Hobby King item. Totally worth it. I love them. Very simple wiring. I have a video showing you how to wire something like that up. Pretty straightforward. One thing I recommend if you're going to put a new ESC is STRC does make a motor mount plate. I built my own here just out of lucite, also known as plexiglass. It works for me, but some people want a more permanent solution. There is that aluminum from STRC which bolts to the factory standoffs. So that's basically it. One other thing, the Revo slipper clutch, or slipper, yeah, I've put the aluminum pads in there, which is one needed upgrade if you're going to run any kind of torque through that, rather than constantly maintaining the pads and the stock ones. You put the aluminums in there and it's a done deal. So RPM rear bumpers and light canister sets, low vis wheelie bar, Proline extended body mounts. I love these, how you can adjust them. And I chopped them off. They were like down to here, so you can run them way high for the rally bodies too. My wiring looks crazy here. I bolted it all up, and I try to keep it as neat as I can. That's one of my, anyway, but that is that. So this is a Slash monster truck, one of my favorite vehicles to run. And this is basically all you need to do is put some big tires on it, get the body mount set, and you need the HCG chassis. Some people run it, you can run it with the LCG chassis, it's just does not do well on like tall grass and stuff like that. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and we hope to see you again.